Howdy folks, I am up here. I am going to be today showing you all how to restring probably one of the most common types of ukulele tuning machines. They either are open or closed back, doesn't really matter, same thing, and tie bridge. So here we go. This is what you're gonna need. Well, you don't need a string winder, but they are super helpful. And then a tuner at the end of it, and a new set of ukulele strings. Whoop. All right, so I'm right-handed, and then this one you can fit either a guitar or an ukulele tuning peg. You can kind of see, so you put the skinny little part like that, and it grabs it real nice. So you gotta make sure you go the right way. I always forget. So you wanna get some of the slack taken care of. Release some of the tension before you snap or cut the strings. This string winder, some of them just is this piece, some of them have a little cutter like this, and oftentimes a bridge pin puller which is attached to that, but mine broke. And I don't, really, ukuleles typically don't have bridge pins, so I mean, you can use nail clippers to clip the strings because they're just nylon, super easy, right? But the string winder is definitely helpful. So you just kind of pull them off like this. And I'll show you guys how to retie them. That's the tricky part, is to get that neat and tidy down there like you want it. That's just the tricky part, but it's very rewarding once you do it and it looks good. So hopefully I will explain it well enough so y'all can feel confident in trying to change your own strings, because it can be intimidating for sure. But then you do it and it's awesome. Alright. There we go. Toss the strings aside. I will throw them in the trash later. These are Smiger ukulele strings. They're just nylon strings. You can use whichever ones you want, but I had these on hand, so here we go. These come nicely labeled. Can you see that? E, B, what? That's not right. G and D. I don't know what happened. So, in case that happens, what you can do, if it's not clearly labeled, because it's GCEA, so we're missing, I don't know what happened with these strings. Something funny. But, I mean, they look to be the appropriate diameter and everything, so the cool thing, so you figure there's 2 fat strings and 2 skinny strings. So if you can identify which 2 are the smaller ones and which 2 are the bigger ones, then you can easily determine which is which. So you can see these 2 are thinner. So then you look real close. So this one's a little bit fatter, so this is G, and then the skinniest one is A. So A and G. And then these guys, you can see, I don't know if it's really that apparent on screen, but this one is thicker and this one is thinner. So this is E and this is C. So I'll just kind of stage them out like that. Let's try to center this a little better so I don't get them mixed up. All right, so I like to start with G, which is the 4th string. So you count up from the ground as if you were holding the instrument. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like an elevator, or like, floors in a house or a building. That's how I remember it. So this side, you're just gonna poke it through the hole. Really, I've done this before. It's pivoted weird. Okay, there it goes. So you pull it through, and you're gonna loop it through like this. Hold this with my mouth. Okay, so you're gonna loop it through like this one time, under, over, and then back underneath, like this, underneath. And since it's a skinny string, go again. So you're gonna wanna at least loop it through twice, and then pull it taut like that. And look, you have the desired knot. And then on the tuning machine end, put it through, and I like to put it through again if the hole in the tuning machine will allow it. Sometimes on the C string it's a little bit snug, so, and because it's fatter you don't necessarily need to do it. I always kind of wing it. Sometimes you end up, it's a little bit too much slack, but with nylon strings they stretch a lot, so we shall not give it as much slack. So here's this. So you want to make sure it's going over top of, so you made the, I'll do the trick back here, can you see it? So I tied it through, so I went around and back through, and you want to get this string on top of that, or try to at least. So basically that first pass you want the tail to go underneath of the string. And you're not gonna bring it up to tension or anywhere near tension at first, really. So then, see, this is why the winder is so handy. Yeah, so you want it to be just neat and tidy. And I kind of push it down a little bit just to ensure it goes underneath right there. So it goes underneath the string. So you want to leave it a little bit loose because you're gonna end up, I go to the A string next, so you'll see what happens with that one. So the A string, you're gonna make the knot backwards. I'm kind of jumping ahead. So grab this tail you have. Sorry about the glare. The lighting is interesting. I tried. Okay, so you're gonna pull this underneath. So basically you're gonna make the loop around the tail of the other string. And this one, holding it with my mouth again. This one, you're gonna go the other way. So I always have to like really think about it. So you're gonna go the other way and back over top 1 and 2 times, pull it taut again, and then this one, so this is why you want to leave them all kind of loose, because you want to, for that nice tidy look, you want to put this string through and you can kind of nudge it down like this. Can you see? See, I made it a little bit too tight, so we'll give it a little bit of slack. There, and then it pops down nicely. Cool. And then up here, we're gonna loop it through again because it's one of them skinny strings, and I'm not gonna give it a whole lot of slack because again, it is nylon, and nylon stretches a lot, and you don't want the string to wind too many times, because then you want to wind it down the post, and if you wind it too many times it'll start winding back up, and you don't want it. You want that nice angle right there. So the goal is to get that string, when it's up to pitch, to kind of sit at the bottom of that. I hope that was clear. So it's kind of a lot of repeats. That again, so I can get it. And it takes, it takes practice, and nobody's perfect, but perfection don't matter. All right, cool. So now we're gonna do C. You can do E if you want, or C, whatever. I usually will just do G, A, and then back to C and E. That's just kind of the pattern I've developed over the years of doing this. So, and this one, so you're gonna pop it through, but see how it kind of went between them? So you wanna reach down and pull that up so you can make sure it goes underneath like that. Because then it'll just look all pretty. You'll see at the end why. So with the C string, you really only need to do it like once because it's such a fat string, and if you try to make too many knots, it'll just look silly. So, and that, you can poke through like I did with the A to the G, and then pop it down a little bit, and voila. Cool. So this one, I'm not gonna loop through because it's pretty fat, but it'll be fine, it'll hold well. It's just like a little extra bit of insurance to pop it back through, but it's totally fine. It doesn't need to, you don't need that for it to hold well. Here's this. So I hold it down to make sure it goes and winds appropriately underneath. but we want the string end to at least be covered with one revolution of the string. Okay, now we're on to the E. All right, cool. Yeah, these strings are right. They must have just labeled funny. I've gotten other strings where the E and the C have been they've been switched, and I've strung instruments that way, and I'm like, why is the C so taut? And then, yeah, I won't tell you how long it took me to figure that out. So I'm gonna do 2 loops on this E because it feels thin enough that it'll accommodate that well. And then with this E string, pop it under the A again. So the A basically holds all the strings except for itself, and the A pulls back and through to the other ones. So there we go. And do I want to go through it? Nah. It's fat enough that I think it'll be fine. So we want to make sure it's underneath and tighten it on up. It's kind of hard to see with all these other strings in the way, but I caution against trimming the strings until you're done, because sometimes they can break, and if say it breaks like right here, but you still have this little extra bit, you can totally reuse the string or make use of the remaining length of the string, which is good. Yeah, so this is the end. So it's not all perfect and tidy yet, but let me get it up to pitch. So this is not a chromatic tuner. This is it's geared towards different instruments, but it's pretty cool. So you turn it on, you hold that button, and then it comes on, and see how it says U right there? So you can, so I guess C, maybe that is chromatic. Okay, so C is chromatic, G is for guitar, B is for bass, V is for violin, and U is for our favorite little friend, ukulele. Cool, so that's obviously not even up to attention. Whee! Okay, I can't really see that. Okay, E. So it says E, it thinks it's the E string, but it's not. See how many revolutions it's taking? That's because nylon, it takes a lot more time to settle in, and there we go. Cool, so we're at G. But yeah, nylon takes a lot more time to settle in. C, and then so as you keep retuning it and bringing it back up to pitch, it'll create more revolutions around the tuning post. So that's why I kind of was, not very liberal. I kind of left it just a couple revolutions until now. So I think it'll work out all right. So E. There we go. All right. And A. I need like a soundtrack, like that like in a rush, that kind of like cartoony music. There's A. Okay. So I'm gonna leave these on just for now, but I wanted to trim up the bottom because I know a lot of people like they're concerned it's gonna look all weird and whatnot. So I just want to kind of focus on how relatively simple it is. I mean, it takes practice. I'm not trying to discredit that it isn't difficult, but it's not unmanageable. So I like to do this better with nail clippers, but I will do it with this. So just, and you can grab all 3 of these guys, and I just kind of do it flush with like the end, because you don't want, see, and that's why nail clippers are better, because you don't want any, oh, there's one flying. So you don't want any strings to stick out necessarily. See how that one's sticking out a little bit, so you can get closer with nail clippers, but you just want to trim it up so it looks nice. See? Relatively easy, right? Let's see. Oops, why did I do that? I don't know. Let's see if I can keep it in tune to play a couple chords for you. See how much it already had gone down though? Okay. See, it already went way flat. So that's G, C. So there we have it. String change 101. And I'll go ahead, I feel pretty comfortable in cutting the ends off of these. Beautiful. Cool, see? Now it's already out of tune. Anyway, I hope that this was an informative video for you guys and empowered you to do your own string changes. Right on. See y'all later. Take good care of yourselves and each other and stay safe.